Hi guys, and today I'm going to be doing my championship predictions for the 2021/22 season. Just to let you know, on Wednesday I'll be doing my League One predictions where Sunderland's obviously in, what I'm actually recording after this actually. And then then on Friday is my predicted 11 for the win game. So yeah, so let's get started. 24th, I put Derby. It is a really helpless task for Derby, if we're being honest, with the points deduction, and well, there's not a point deduction, but with the lack of players they've got and whatever. And even if they do, with how weak that squad is, with young players in it and whatever, I just think it's a helpless task going with it. Inexperienced manager Mooney, I just think they're destined to go down. So yeah, 23rd I've got Hull City. The reason why, because obviously Sunderland played them in pre-season the other day, and to be fair, I weren't that impressed with them, if you get what I mean. Um, they're obviously under a transfer embargo. The big way for me for them is where the goal's going to come from, because especially up front they've got Eves and what I'm against, yeah, against the well League One last season, got the double figures, but can you do it in the Championship? Of course, the police should be out with a point to prove after what happened 2 years ago, but I just don't think they'll be good enough. So yeah, 22nd, I've got Huddersfield to go down as well. I think this year they'll go down. The reason why is because I don't really rate their manager, and I do think that as well. Yes, they've got more defender thing, but have they improved the quality of the defence for me? No, as well. I struggle to see where the goals come from. I don't really think Rose is the answer or anything, but yeah, yes, and they're one of the better players. O'Brien might leave as well, so. And I've known with Sunderland, because Huddersfield been in the league 2 or 3 years now, and all of them years they're being in a relegation battle. It will eventually come to where you'll slip through the door and get relegated, and that's what I think will happen with Huddersfield. So yeah, 21st I've got Peterborough. The reason why is because Peterborough's a funny one, where while I think that their attack is good, they've got Grant, I don't know if Dembele is there, Smodic, Marriott, and Clark Howard. Five exciting players for this division, and five players who I think would all do well defensively. I'm really unsure. So I do like the decision of Josh now, but I just I personally don't know. I'm not too sure of the will they keep enough goals out, and I'm waiting for them defensively, but I am going to back them to stay up. So yeah, 20th I've got the last newly promoted team, Blackpool. The reason why is because especially I would say out of the three, Hull, Peterborough and Blackpool, them the most will adapt the areas, if you get what I mean, because of the way they play, especially off the ball, where they work hard and make sure that they don't get beat and do not concede many goals, just like the proven League One last year. And I personally do think Neil Critchley is building an exciting team. Hopefully, I'm building Storm Power, but I don't think he will be. And what should be enough to at least keep them in the Championship for next season. So yeah, 19th up Coventry. The reason why I do like the additions of Wycombe more a goalkeeper, I personally just think that has gotten, and the R-Waker, but the reason why is because I just think that um other teams have got better, if you get what I mean, and I personally just think that they'll just slip down, but I don't think they'll be in any trouble of relegation. So yeah, you aim for Bristol City. The reason why that squad has definitely got a lot of work to do, before now the end of the transfer window, and they have lost a lot of players, and I don't know how many they've really brought in. I know they brought Andy King as a player I like, and I think he should do well. But under an experienced manager in Nigel Pearson, I personally just think that he should at least do enough to get them a mid-table, maybe not mid-table, but lower mid-table figures to make sure that they're not in any relegation battles. So yeah. Then 17th I put Blackburn. The reason why, because I think around that place is there's a thing that they are going to stack away, if you get what I mean. Of course they haven't signed anyone, and Armstrong's future's uncertain. Of course they've already lost players as well, and if and that could really hint them because their depth isn't that good. Of course, they've got a few young players who I think could come through, and Brent Brereton, I think, will have good season, but and could be the man to like step up if Armstrong was to leave, but and I don't really rate Mowbray as well, but yes, I just think that if it, and that's with Brereton, I personally think they could drop down even more if Brereton leaves, but I'm just going, and I personally will think he'll leave, but at the minute, as he's still there, I'll put them in 17th, so yeah. 16th, I put Preston. The reason why is because, like, I think they'll be solid defensively this season, but I just do not see where the goals are going to come from, and yes, that's the reason why, so yeah. 15th, I put Birmingham. The race, Michael, I think the end of last season under Lee Bowyer, it was really like a good end to the last season where it looked like they were probably going to go down, but Lee Bowyer managed to galvanise them and like keep them up. I obviously do like some of the signs, especially Dion Sanderson, who we had on loan last year and was absolute outstanding for us. I think that he'll make the step up to championship level. I also like Chuck Deneke. I mean, and I think he is building something to the point where I think they'll be fine and like make sure that they don't go down. So yeah. 14th I put Barnsley. The reason why I think Barnsley could go one or two ways, if you get what I mean, they could it could either go wrong without their manager, like leaving them, or they get relegated, or they could go fantastic and go. But personally, me, I've just put them in the middle. So yeah, especially with a few big players leave, more Dixie, and I personally don't think they'll struggle, but and they'll have a comfortable season, but I don't think they'll be good enough to challenge again, if you get what I mean. So yeah, 13th I put Nottingham Forest. I think it'll be a much better season from like after last season where like they were pretty much underperformed. I do still wait for the lack of goals for them, especially without like Taylor and Graben. I aren't really like goal scorers. Well, they're goal scorers, but I don't think they'll score enough goals. Defensively, I think they'll be solid though, and I think that they'll be fine as like and have a comfortable mid-table finish. So yeah, well, I put Reading the race wise because their squad is undoubtedly weaker than last season after losing like players Richards and Alicia like the main two. And to be fair, they're probably like a bit fortunate like the for being 12 because their squad is thin on the ground. But I'm just and if one bad injury happens to a couple of players, they could easily go down even further. But I'm going to see the quality of their starting 11 because I still think they've got a decent starting 11 will be enough to at least guarantee them a top 6 thing. I mean a top 12 finish. So yeah. 11th I put Stoke the race wise because Stoke's got to do better than the last like 3 years to be in the championship where the finished bottom half every time, and I personally do think that Michael O'Neill's building something. Tyrese Campbell when he comes back will be a big plus, but I personally think that it will be like just the top half finish, and I think that will show signs of improvement because every season them look like promotion candidates and they're always pretty much flattered to save. That is why I pretty much just put them bang in the middle, one above them. So yeah. 10th I put Swansea. Of course they've just lost Steve Cooper and they've got Russell Martin. Martin I do like. They're again looking at it, Steve Cooper's way of playing long ball actually worked for them, and their squad's a lot weaker. They've lost Aya, Woodman went back, probably more, and the signings that they've made isn't really inspiring, if you get what I mean. But and I don't think that they're good enough to really mount a promotion challenge again. But in a few, if they sign a few players before the end of the transfer window, maybe. But I also think the new brand of football, the way Russell Martin wants to play it, will also like help them, if you get what I mean, and make them like a better team, even if it means like they miss out on playoffs. So yeah. 9th I put Luton. The reason why is because Luton like is a club who on the up, if you get what I mean, where they have back-to-back promotions. The first season in the Championship, like they avoided it, then finished mid-table last year. And I think they'll continue that 9th place finish. I think it'll be great. Nathan Jones is like continuing to build like the staples, if you get what I mean, and they've made some nice business. Burke, the one from Morecambe, and and they've brought some experience wins like Henry Lansbury and Cameron Jerome, and I personally do still think that they're good enough and they will keep improving as they're a club on the up and there's some momentum around Luton at the minute. So yeah, if I put Cardiff, as we all know, Mick McCarthy is one of them managers where pretty much you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna be tough to beat, and like you're gonna find it hard to beat them. The only reason why I put them here because like they haven't really, I know they've got Keith Moore, but they haven't really got that X factor play if you like that, like they had Harry Wilson last year. Yeah, I mean, and like who can win them again by the scruff of the neck, but defensively they'll be solid. They'll be hard to break down. Anything you expect from a McCarthy team, but I just think that they're going to finish eighth as they don't have enough like going forward to like get in the top six. So yeah, seventh I put Middlesbrough. The race Michaels, let's never write Neil Warnock off. He knows what he's doing. For me, he's the best champion manager in history, and some of the squad that they're building is exciting. I mean, and I think they'll push them all the way, but I personally just do not think they'll be enough, and they'll not break in. Sixth, I put Millwall. The reason why at the Den it is always an intimidating place to go. Let's be honest, where you probably have a hard deal like go defensively. They're another team that are solid where it's very hard to break them down, and Gary Rowett works for them, and as well I mean if they can get a goal scorer, what if Ben Forbes that I think the lazy like make the playoffs and have a chance of going up. So yeah, fifth I put QPR. The reason why is because the way that ended last season was unbelievable. And they've got the players they had on loan back if you get them, like Johansson and Austin like, and they've also added to it with other buys or and more players, and I think that is the club now on the up, and I think Mark Warburton has like struck the right balance, and I personally do think that now that it is their chance to really like put a real push to get back to the Premier League, and yeah. Fourth, I put Sheffield United to raise my. Of course, last season in the Premier League was not like a great season for them. Just coming down like with a rubbish like point return and barely going in game. But I still look at that squad in the Championship, and that is still a really good Championship squad. Like you've got players who need to prove themselves, especially the strikers, like the strikers that underperformed last season, like Musette, Brewster, Burke, and yeah. Even if they do lose Ramsdale and Sander Berger, what I still wouldn't be surprised if they do, I still think, of course, they'll need to get another goalkeeper, and especially they'll need to bring another midfielder. But I personally think that squad is they're more than good enough to at least get a playoff finish, and it'd be a travesty because that team pretty much blows most teams out the window at this level, and I think the new ideas of a Kanovic will like help them. So yeah, third I put Bournemouth. The reason why is because there's no doubt that they're weaker from last season, and I think the appointments last season were wrong if I'm honest. But I think under Parker, with the way he likes to play, possessing his football, I think they'll be able to have a fight for promotion. And they're another team in this division where they're a team where they can like their team pulled most teams away in this division, and I think they'll finish third and just miss out a lot of that promotion. So yeah, second I put West Brom and bouncing straight back to the Premier League. The reason why, because West Brom is another team that especially under the Barnsley manager last season, where we obviously don't know if they're going to be as crazy as Barnsley was, but they've got absolute unreal quality for Championship level. Like, of course, like I said a bit about Sheffield United, Grant, Robinson, and Dean Garner all underperformed last season in the Premier League, but them will be damn good Championship players and the top end Championship players. Imagine how many goals that front three could get. Even if Pereira does go, what would be a bonus if he does stay, that they still should be fine, and I think they've got more than enough quality, they've got more than enough depth. Of course, maybe one or two here and there. I like the free transfer mode, and I personally do think that they will bounce back to the Premier League at the first attempt. So yeah. And then first I've got Fulham. The reason why there for me have just bought the league is a bit like Sheffield United and West Brom, where they've got players who perhaps hasn't cut the Premier League level, like Mitrovic last season wasn't good enough. But they've got players like Mitrovic who is good enough for like the Championship, and they've signed Harry Wilson, what would be a big player for them, Gazaniga, a solid goalkeeper. And I personally do think Fulham on paper, of course it's all on paper, it's the best player in the it's the best team in the Championship. I mean, will be more than good enough to not just go up but to win the league and get up at the first attempt. So yeah, so that's my Championship prediction. Leave your thoughts. If any Championship fans, are you happy with like where I put your team? Are you not happy? Explain why you think you're going to finish, stuff like that. The next time we'll say is on Wednesday for my League One predictions. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, view, comment, and say yeah.